Good afternoon, everyone. You're watching Big 12 now on ESPN+. And today we're at historic Gallagher-Iba Arena in Stillwater, Oklahoma, on the Oklahoma State University campus, where the fourth-ranked Cowboys will start the home wrestling season against the Drexel Dragons. Hello, everyone. I'm J. Carl Guyman, along with my broadcast partner, Leroy Smith. Looking forward to a great duel. And as always, we have the top 10 team rankings already, at least in the early part of the season. Oklahoma State, as we said, ranked 4th. Iowa, the defending champion, the favorite again, ranked number 1. And you'll notice at the bottom, Cornell and Virginia Tech tied for 10th. So we start off at 125. Trevor Mastrogiovanni for Oklahoma State gets a quick takedown against Mr. Waterman of Drexel. That is Kyle Waterman. Mastrogiovanni has gotten off to a good start already, and Leroy, he wasted no time in showing up in the duel against Minnesota, upsetting number 5 Patrick McKee.
Yeah, he's even got trying to hook up a turn here. He's been much more aggressive, much more confident this year, which is what you want to see. And certainly Coach Smith is excited about his start, as you said, against McGee for Minnesota. He still has control there on top, so the riding time's working for him.
Well, and that upset moved him higher in the rankings, up to number 15 by Intermat. We'll take a look at those individual rankings a little bit later. And he did something he didn't do as well last year. He shot often, attacked the legs, and he completed the shots.
Exactly. See it right here. There's basically he did a nice sprawl, posted him down and spun around, and he's ready to take advantage of his openings and opportunities and being more aggressive.
Yeah, that's part of his issue as a freshman last year. He couldn't complete a lot of his shots, but he completed them against number 5 ranked wrestler and a very veteran wrestler too in McKee from Minnesota. Drexel comes in here. The Dragons are 1-1. They beat University of Arkansas Little Rock yesterday, 25-18. So that was their first win of the dual season. Stalling warning underneath on Waterman.
Yeah, Trevor's doing a good job of using his leverage. You can see he has a little length on most of his opponents, and he uses that tight waist and bar arms. He's got him pretty wrapped up here. We'll see if he can get a turn here.
Just about.
Got to keep control.
Keeping that one hand. Now spiral right it goes to. Switch attempt by Waterman, no good, and they're off with 56 seconds left in the first. A 2-0 lead for Mastrogiovanni. If you're not familiar with Drexel, it's kind of the same vintage as Oklahoma A&M. Started in 1891. It's a research university, basically, and it's in Philadelphia.
Not a drugstore. No.
That's right.
It's right there in Philadelphia, right? It is not very far from the University of Pennsylvania. Only a few blocks away.
Yeah, their coach, Matt Acevedo, was talking about how they were lucky just to get in 2 duels last year because of COVID. Penn, the Ivy League, didn't wrestle at all.
Right.
He said our neighbors across the street there didn't even get to wrestle. Mastrogiovanni continues to ride down to 42 seconds. His riding time is over 2 minutes now. Keeps trying to trap that hand underneath, lock that wrist and get a roll with a little arm bar.
Well, and of course, as long as you have a foot in bounds, you can get back points.
Yes, and even
so here he is. He's trying to keep his toe in and get that tilt, but
came close. Mentioned Matt Acevedo in his 12th year, I believe, now at Drexel.
Nice redrop here from his feet, and then goes right to that bar arm and trapped arm, and he's trying to get a little hip tilt here where he goes. Gets opponent's hips tilt, but he's getting reversed here in the match. He's on a leg here. He's got to get him down on the ground before he's going to get his reversal. And if it goes off right now, it'd be 1 point.
Got one. There's the escape. That's big for Waterman to at least get one of those back in the first period. Runs out with a 2-1 lead by Mastrogiovanni.
Yeah, you hate to do all that riding and then lose a point in the last 10 seconds. That's something you tend to want to try and correct, and that's what they're doing in these early matches, is they're building and developing. Both coaches are looking to do that now in the early season, use these matches to get better. And that's a good example of how they'll get better, is try to be the one who scores in the last 10 seconds of a period.
Yeah, it was Drexel's choice. Waterman deferred, so Mr. Giovanni chose bottom. So Drexel has a choice in the odd numbered matches tonight. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Good inside shot there by Master Giovanni, but just so much more aggressive this year so far.
He uses that underhook position there, and he is aggressive with it. He doesn't hold it.
Little counter head snap there by Waterman, no good. So still 3-1, Master Giovanni.
I like the way both of them are battling to score.
Waterman won 13-2 in his match yesterday, a major decision against Arkansas Little Rock. So his record improved by 1. That always helps, a win on the road. And he is now 3-2. Master Giovanni 2-0, winning at Stanford and at Minnesota. 42 seconds left in the second. Riding time 2:38 for Master Giovanni. And we'll have a chance to get more in the third unless Waterman decides to choose neutral or top.
30 seconds remaining.
And we'll see how they go here in the end of this last 20 seconds. Who's gonna take a chance?
I have a theory. It's probably not valid, but whoever scores in the last 20 seconds of the second period always seems to win the duel match.
Interesting.
I don't know. It just seems that way.
Uh-huh.
Can't back it up with actual statistics.
Well, it doesn't appear that either one of them are going to take that
chance. And we'll go to the third. Still 3-1, Master Giovanni. And Waterman does take bottom. Wonder if Master Giovanni might let him up, or maybe he thinks he can turn him. Riding time is so heavy in his favor.
Well, and that's always a little bit of a, that's what you try to do, is match your riding time with turns, because if you don't, it can burn you. If you're not building on the lead.
There's a good leg shot, and Master Giovanni picking up the pace. Remember, Waterman does have a stalling warning in the first period, so he's got to stay aggressive.
Both these wrestlers put their hands in pretty good position here. They're not really being sloppy with their hands. It's just they're hand fighting well. And there's a nice underhook to he's going to finish here.
Double.
Yep.
There's the takedown, 5-2, Master Giovanni. Let's see now if he wants to work toward a turn. Spiral ride. Comes out on the left side of Waterman. Waterman's tough position here because the riding time is locked. So he's in effect down 6-2. Nice switch though by Waterman. Doesn't have the reverse yet. Good sprawl by Master Giovanni. Reaches back in, trying to maintain control, even though it's not much of control. 1 point for Waterman.
Here we go. There's the underhook. He just uses that to get in on a single. Throw by single.
Well, Waterman has 45 seconds left to do something. He's down 5-3 on the board, but it's actually 6-3 with the riding time. So he's got to get a couple of takedowns or a takedown and a turn. He's looked better, though, Waterman has later in the match. He's hanging in there. Looked like he was really being dominated early.
Yeah, he's had some nice moves off bottom. That's where he's really scored his points.
Good hand fighting there by Master Giovanni. Tries a little snap. Not real serious with it. And it's 6-3 with the riding time. Trevor Master Giovanni, 5-3. We'll be back with the 133-pounders and the great Dayton Fix coming up right after this. Big 12 now on ESPN+.
There are a great many things that can be found on the road. a giant blue whale in central Oklahoma. Musicians in search of that perfect melody. You'll even discover the center of the universe. You'll find stories of lives led, challenges met, and men who raise pigeons. They're all out there waiting to be discovered. All you have to do is follow the road. Phillips 66. Live to the full.
At OG&E, the energy we deliver is more than electrical. We energize education by supporting schools to help our children reach their potential. So every time you see Big Orange out there working for you, remember we're also working to turn power into empowerment. Because at OG&E, we do more than energize a power grid. At OG&E, we energize life.
And welcome back. You're watching Big 12 now on ESPN Plus. Oklahoma State leads Drexel 3-0 after Trevor Messer-Giovanni's 6-3 victory at 125. And now out comes two-time NCAA runner-up Dayton Fix for Oklahoma State, 2-0 in the young season. And he's got a guy, Dean Pleasant, who's trying to pull a big upset. He's 3-7. You see the information on Dayton Fix. Silver medalist in the Senior Worlds. He's just had so many great matches and titles, high school, collegiately, and internationally, that he's one of the country's best wrestlers.
And what's impressive is his ability to be competitive at these highest of levels in two different styles, which is not easy to do.
Right.
And be that competitive. And he's trying to get back on track. What I've seen in these early matches of his season is he's still trying to get back on track for folk style wrestling. He's got, particularly on bottom and top.
Well, right off the bat, Dean Pleasant fires a leg shot at Fix. Fix counters and goes great little duck under himself. Doesn't have two yet, and there it is. Finishes with a double.
It's a good way of finishing there, just staying after it, and he had to adjust a couple of times to get the finish. A good athlete. Athletic countering there on behalf of the
very
pin.
Quick, very strong.
Drexel wrestle.
Basically releases Pleasant there, so 2-1. And Dayton likes to wrestle from his feet, of course, because he's so good at it, so quick. A takedown machine at sometimes, Leroy.
Yeah, his both. He can go with the leg attacks. He's got good counters, and he can wrestle from the upper body ties as well, like you're seeing right here with the bear hug here. Look at that.
Bear hug right to the mat, 4-1, and he'll throw a trip on inside trip.
And that inside trip
off the bear hug
too. There's a tilt.
Got the count. So this is going to be near fall points. It'll be 4 near fall coming.
He puts a half on here. He might be able to get his chest on and get the pin, but
so that makes it 8-1. The 4-point near fall is registered. And a big first period already for Dayton Fix with 1.5 minutes left. We're just halfway through the period. I expect we'll see a lot of turns right here. Pleasant fighting it hard, but Fix has that kind of elongated half in, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, he's got to get weight on top. Here, see him adjusting there, and get his weight on top and get more pressure on his chest, and that's where you're going to get the pins.
So 4 more points coming, 12-1 now. Fix in the opening 2 minutes of the match. And unless something changes, it's not going to be a pleasant experience, if you'll pardon the pun, for Dean Pleasant. He's fighting hard, but of course facing a highly, highly capable wrestler in Dayton Fix. And Dean gets to his feet. He's still fighting. He's never Never let up, is Pleasant.
Here we go with the bear hug here, and you'll see him lift and then blocks that knee and trips him over that knee and takes him right to his back.
12-1, 33 seconds left in the period. Vic's trying to get him back down. One more turn, a 4-pointer would end this match if he could get it before the period ends. It would be a tech fall 16-1 if he can get that, but he's only got 19 seconds left. Throws in both legs, trying to stretch him out. Don't know if he's going to have time, though, to hook up and get the turn with only 10 seconds left. He's still working underneath.
Well, in talking with Coach Azevedo, he did feel that they were mismatched in a few weight classes, but overall, he was pretty optimistic about what his lineup can do, and he's here in the middleweights in particular, that he feels like he's got some good chances to get some wins.
If that name sounds familiar to you, Acevedo, there was a guy here named John Acevedo years ago who was a heck of a wrestler and transferred back to California to Cal State Bakersfield, national champion. John Acevedo, the uncle of Matt Acevedo.
That's right. And Matt, of course, had a stint at Arizona State and finished his career at Iowa State.
He was with you for a year or two,
He was
right?
with me and could wrestle, get a starting position at Iowa State, and qualified 3 times for the NCAA tournament. He's been a great coach, good student of the sport. He's Coach Azevedo.
Takedown 15-1. Let's see if he lets him up and goes for a takedown to end it or tries to get the turn in the pin. I like to see him take him down, try to pin him. Forget the tech fall. Go for the pin.
Well, here we go. He's on the head. Does a little shuck there to set it up. Set his single snatch up. Goes to the ankle there. Gets it high. Just great execution there. Of course, you got to have the follow-up. You got to have the finish.
So 15-1, riding time over 2 minutes. The next point by Fix, unless Dean's
nice. He's got a leg turk here. He's got the leg tied up, but he couldn't keep it tied up, so he's going to lose that leverage to get him over with there.
Looking for a turn to end it with the tech fall or a pin.
Yeah, he's got it.
There we go, and that's going to end the match one way or the other right here. He's gotten the count. Working hard for that pin.
There we go. See how he's seeking that half in now? He's got to get weight on him. He's got to get weight on him. A little more weight, get his weight adjusted. He's in really good position now.
And very close, very close. He's pinned. He's pinned in 4 minutes, 21 seconds. Dayton Fix.
Well, there it is. And he doesn't get many pins, so he's excited about that.
So
That's
the pin
exactly.
at 4:21, the Cowboys jump up to a 9-0 lead. We'll be coming back with the 141 pounders, Messrs. Young and Donahue. You're watching Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
It's the most joyous time of the year.
Especially at T-Mobile.
Let's go to Diane.
There are mornings, and there are woke up late, out of toothpaste, spilled coffee. The Italian original chicken is back at BK in the 2 for $6. You've been asking for years. Pete knew.
It may not be music to your ears, but as long as it's music to theirs, bring the volume back to the venue with exclusive ticket access to unmissable events. One of the many reasons you're with Amex Platinum.
So I'm going to, right?
The Italian original chicken is back at BK in the 2 for $6. You've been asking for years, Pete Newbacher. And now we all get to enjoy the crispy chicken, melty mozzarella, and marinara sauce because of you. The Italian original chicken sandwich is back at BK in the 2 for $6. Pete's way better.
That's the stuff.
You're going to need a smaller cabinet because now you can take all those supplements you're taking or not taking and replace them with this. AG1 by Athletic Greens brings 75 vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced ingredients, probiotics, and adaptogens together in one place. It might just be the most comprehensive and convenient nutritional regimen on the planet. Immunity supporting, recovery enhancing, digestion improving, energy lifting. Made to the strictest quality standards. Made New Zealand. Made for just about everybody.
And we're back ready for the 141-pounders in just a moment. There you see the Cowboys head man, John Smith. His 31st season, has had 5 NCAA team championships. Look at all the All-Americans, national champions, and, of course, John himself, a six-time world champion, 2 of those Olympic gold medals. And one of the brothers of my broadcast partner, Leroy Smith, and you taught him everything he knows, right?
Well, for a while, I did. And then it was his turn to teach me. I kind of went into coaching.
Well, it's been a great career for John and for Leroy, who I did mention at the top of the broadcast, the executive director of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum, and now about to be officially a member of that great institution. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Thank you, Jay Carl. I appreciate it. And,
awesome.
Looking forward to it. This match's been very good to myself and my family.
Well, number 28 ranks Carter Young for the Cowboys, who's just 0-1 against Jared Donahue for Drexel, and he has a 3-5 record. Now, Carter Young, highly touted out of Stillwater, highly ranked recruit, took a little detour to get here.
He did. He signed with Northwestern, and then some COVID issues.
Scores there
with the staff there. Allowed him. Here we got him here with a single leg, and his what he's working on here, what he found in his first match against Minnesota, he wasn't finishing well. So there you got it. That's what they're focusing him on, and that's what you do with these early matches.
And the escape by Donahue makes it 2-1. Now, you can't see it, but you might have noticed had a little tongue-in-cheek as Young right back in on the leg, a trip, and he's down.
There it is. I mean, the value of being able to go get a leg on anybody you wrestle is so extraordinarily important to your success as a wrestler. And everything you can do, and it doesn't have to be the same shot. It can be different, obviously different shots. It can be snatches. Really separates.
Well, Young was so aggressive, he didn't let me finish my tongue-in-cheek comment. He's ranked in the top 32. He's 0-1. Now, I'll say this on my dying day. A freshman coming in who's never beaten anybody in college can't be in the rankings. He just can't be until he beats somebody in the rankings. Good snap
nice
down.
slide by, snap down, Chuck.
If you do that, that's a projection of how good you think he's going to be, not what his resume actually is. That really always bothers me. Wait till he beats somebody in the top 20. Then put him in there. 6'3" after the escape by Donahue.
Nice counter there. Drop down and front headlock. Got re-shot in on another single. He's having his way with it now.
4 takedowns.
And that's what Coach Smith wanted to see out of him. He was a little timid up in Minnesota, and it was his first time out, and it's natural.
Yeah.
And but we're getting to see a real champion in the making here.
And he was wrestling a very veteran wrestler, a senior who's stalling warning against Donahue, but he's about to be in more trouble, it appears. And on the leg again is Young, if he can pull that left arm free or get a trip from here, perhaps. Reached for the far leg, didn't get it. Now goes behind him, and there's 2.
Nice little limp arm there to finish that.
And 10-4 with 30 seconds left in the first period, so a masterful 5 takedown performance so far.
And he's wrestling a redshirt senior, so a lot of experience there he's up against, and you just see the quality of his capabilities. That is Young's. Trying to get the back points there on the edge, but
time running out here. They go off with just 6 seconds left.
And he's from Stillwater. Carter Young is. He actually transferred in into when he was in high school from, I believe it was Broken Arrow or somewhere in Tulsa area high school.
And then, of course, by the time he made the move from Northwestern, they hadn't started classes. But Oklahoma State was a month into classes.
Here you have his counter, but it's with a reshot. And he just keeps the action going, and he's combining, sequencing his aggression there off no matter whether it's his shot or whether it's his opponent's shot. And that's chain wrestling. And that's what it takes to get finishes.
Oh, a good move off the whistle by Carter.
Boy, he came out of there, and that's something that Coach Smith said he wanted to see his wrestlers do. We get off the bottom.
Right.
He was last couple matches, he didn't feel like they were moving out very well. He's putting emphasis on that right now.
And especially freshmen. They almost 95% of the freshmen struggle on the bottom, don't they? Even if they're really good.
They tend to want to brace, and when you brace, you let the top guy get what he wants to keep you down.
So let's see if Mr. Donahue can get anything started. Jared Donahue, as we said,
high crotch.
3 and 5, but he's in some trouble again. Carter in on that leg, deep.
We'll crack down high crotch here, and he'll most likely get those legs together.
Got the far leg collected, made it a double, and got the 2. So 13-4, riding time at 1:44, and climbing. So obviously a big hill to climb, in fact almost a mountain.
We go the high crotch here, and then he ends up switching to the double there on the edge of the mat, using his mat real well for a freshman. Outstanding. Keep wrestling on the edge.
59 seconds left in the second. 13-4, riding time is up to 1:49. Carter looks really quick and explosive today. I mean, it's the first time I've actually seen him wrestle, but looks very quick, very explosive.
Well, he's another one like Fix that is a good freestyler, and just recently in the World Team Trials this past summer, he had some great victories over some seasoned wrestlers who were All-Americans in college in their day, and they're out of college now, and was beating that level of a wrestler.
Those guys with the world of
everybody's attention. Like, who is this young man? So we're seeing a talent in the making.
He's putting the ride on Mr. Donahue right now. Donahue trying to get up, but just is having no luck. He's had a hard time just getting anything going. He had one shot the first period. It was counted as the time runs out in the second. 13-4. We talked about John Smith's coaching record, his 31 years. I always have to go back and remember this is a program that's won 34 national championships, 143 individual NCAA titles, including A.J. Ferrari currently on the team, and 481 All-America finishes. So just a great history here. Quick escape or release there by Donahue to get that point, so 13-5 as we go to the third. And Young obviously want to go back to his feet, see if he can keep the pressure on. And he does with a quick low ankle shot.
Yeah, he had a head inside single and then switched to the head to the outside. That's pretty impressive. Usually when you have a head inside single, that's where you like to keep it, and that's where you try to finish, but he can do it. That shows some real capability there to be able to move your head to the outside and finish with a high crotch rather than what we call a single leg, which is a head inside the hip.
It's a little bars that arm on the left side.
Yeah, that's traditional Oklahoma State. There on top is getting that.
Get the arm bar, chicken wing there.
Yeah.
Or is it a half? I can't tell.
Well,
all the way
it's a wing now, but they're very careful with it. The referees are on what you can and can't do here. But he's got him now. He's got
he's
that
in
head
trouble there. Got the head tucked
He
under.
can get his weight over. Oh, he lost the half Nelson.
Had it briefly, but Donahue a nice job fighting that off in a potentially dangerous call. With 37 seconds left, 3:36 riding time, and a 10-point lead for Young.
You know, as soon as he got his head out on that single outside, he was in position to leverage him down and finish it up there on the takedown.
And he pushes Donahue away to make it 15-6, plus the riding time is cinched. Right back in for a shot is Young. The other thing I was going to mention, he's been nonstop the whole match. There's no resting.
I think he was really disappointed in the way he wrestled at Minnesota, and he's really focused on getting himself on track.
There's two.
Nice counter
on the board, plus the riding time 18-6, final 5 seconds.
Well, also when you have somebody with such leverage, you have a lot to work with there.
Okay, Carter Young, very impressive, as you said, Leroy, with an 18-6 major decision. Runs the team score to 13-0. We should have a great battle at 149. You're watching Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
Remember that mammogram you postponed? The colonoscopy? Your yearly physical? Now's the time to get it done. Mercy is ready with COVID-19 safety precautions in place at all hospitals and clinics. So let's take care of that achy hip. The follow-up with your specialist. Plan for your safe visit at mercy.net/yoursafety. Go to mercy.net/yoursafety. At Mercy, your life is our life's work.
Academy Sports and Outdoors has the gifts to make this your most fun Christmas ever. From game tables, to bikes, to team sports, and the best from Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, golf, and grills. We've got everybody covered this holiday. Merry Christmas from everyone at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
What are we capable of when we are seen, heard, inspired? It's that unexpected moment when everything changes, revealing our potential and discovering the excellence in all of us. With our discovery comes responsibility to lead through the world's most pressing challenges, giving back and creating opportunity at Oklahoma State University.
And ready for 149 in just a minute. First, here's Oklahoma State wrestlers who are in the rankings. As we mentioned earlier, Ferrari 1, Dayton Fix 2. That's where they finished last year. Caden Gefeller is number 24. He's coming up next. These are intermat rankings you're looking at on the left side. So all 10 Cowboys at least in the top 33. And that's important because the top 33 at the end of the year are the ones who end up getting into the NCAA tournament. So at 149, we have Caden Gefeller coming up for Oklahoma State. He's 1-1 and ranked 24th nationally, and he goes against Tyler Williams, who's moved up from 141 to this weight. And Williams is 3-6. This is one of 3 weights that John Smith says are not quite settled. 141 possibly, but 149, this one, and heavyweight. Although I think 141 might be settled pretty quickly if Carter Young keeps wrestling like we saw today.
Right. Yeah, he's got a few freshmen at least, one of them in the wings here at this weight. But Feller's a redshirt senior and been around, got a lot of experience. He's worked real hard this year and in preparing for this season. He had a great win at Minnesota, an upset. In that
nice little ankle pick there, like a little hook, a little trip of the ankle, but they couldn't quite complete it.
Yeah, he's a little unorthodox. He does some. You like to see that in wrestling. Not everybody doing the same thing, and certainly you won't with him. He just finds ways to. He's in good position here to
He's
finish
got the
this
2.
out.
Yeah, good job. As you said, unorthodox, got the job done. It's, you know, on the scoreboard, it's not how, it's how many.
Yeah, it does.
Got everything from throws to leg shots to counters to whatever. Tyler Williams lost 12-4, a major decision. Yesterday's match with Joseph Bianchi of Little Rock.
Here we go with the high crotch. He's in on the head outside single, some people call it. Better known as a high crotch, and he just gets him on his hip where he can't move and then switches to a double. He's in a scramble here off his crab ride.
Gotta be careful.
And he's going to give up the.
Good job by Williams.
escape.
Kind of had Gefeller kind of scrambling there for a little bit. You got to watch it. Don't get put on your back and pinned from the defensive.
You got to make sure when you go into the crab ride, you have everything tied up. It's not a safe position to be on your butt.
So 2-1 the score, 1:20 left in the first period. Oklahoma State leading the duel 13-0 if you just joined us. 6-3 decision by Trevor Mastrogiovanni, and then Dayton Fix pin in 4:21, and Carter Young, a major decision, 18-6. The scoring so far. So just a 2-1 match right now. Even Feller, oh, a nice counter, and there's 2 more.
Yeah, showed some real quickness there with that reaction time.
He did. Williams
he was on
took a decent-looking shot, but boom, Feller was behind him before he knew it. So 4-1, 40 seconds left, rather 45 seconds left. I get it right, man. If that was the riding time, it is 45 seconds. 42 seconds left.
Here you go. You see the shot. He's just ready for it. Posts him down. Gets the angle on him.
Duck under attempt there by Williams went awry.
Yeah, here he is, and he's got the
grab right again.
Yeah, he just didn't keep the arms tied up.
Reverse by Williams. Good job.
Williams has good hips there on that exchange.
Now, if you were coaching for Oklahoma State here, would you suggest he not try the crab ride again?
Well, no, exactly. I would. Here he's going to go to the head here. If he gets out a little bit, he can get a turn. If that's what he wants. He's going for the head now.
Couldn't get the arm around the head totally. Oop.
You can see
6 seconds.
Why Drexler, he's got pretty good hips.
Ooh, just as the fella about had points, the period ending. So a tight first period.
Yeah, we'll see the reversal here. They're good hips. And he finishes that reverse.
Very active.
He was able to keep him from getting reversed because he had good hip movement.
And they're reviewing something over here. See if Gefeller had it at the end. I don't think he did myself.
No, he didn't.
I thought the time ran out just as he was getting into the position to have control. But you never know when they review.
Well, and this is where Coach Smith was saying that he wanted his wrestlers, he wants them to develop that ability to build on your lead and not keep the match back and forth. And there's an art to that in folk style wrestling. It's called strategy, but you've got to.
Of course, on this view, we can't see the clock.
No, there's no control. There's no reversal.
To know what the time would have been when he finally, like right there, just about had it, but I think the time had run out. And the officials agree. So starting the third, or really, the second, it's 4-3. Gefeller.
Tripod gets a roll going. He's trying to, it's good hip. Scrambling hips with these two. And he's got him on his back. That's going to be
trying for the pole. He's close. He's pinned. Wow.
That was quick.
Gefeller, just 20 seconds into the second period, gets the fall from the bottom position, basically. Fired right out of it.
Here we go. You see the great hip action, hip work with Gefeller, and keeps his weight on him. Presses him down. There it is.
Nothing now. We'll be back with 157.
Come check it out.
It may not be music to your ears, but as long as it's music to theirs, bring the volume back to the venue with exclusive ticket access to unmissable events. One of the many reasons you're with Amex Platinum.
So I'm going too, right?
It's It's the most joyous time of the year.
Especially at T-Mobile.
Let's go to Diane.
Can you tell us what's happening?
Yeah, I got the awesome new iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, and T-Mobile's paying for them both. Oh, and I get a free year of Apple TV Plus.
And this is for new and existing T-Mobile and Sprint customers. Like me. Back to you.
Hey.
Hello?
We're going to T-Mobile.
Upgrade to the iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, both on us. This week only at T-Mobile.
Hey, let's go, man. Let's go. How cool is it being here right now?
This place is going to be jumping.
What does it feel like to sell your car to Carvana? It feels amazing. You get a great offer in seconds. It feels too good to be true. It's kicking back and relaxing as we pick up your car. And when you get paid on the spot, it feels like scoring big. You know the feeling. You just never imagined you could get it from selling your car. Well, with Carvana, you can. Experience the new way to sell a car.
And we're back for the 157-pound match with Wyatt Sheets going for Oklahoma State. He's currently ranked 16th. He and Mr. Kopman from Drexel have only met one time. Sheets was the winner in that match, so Kopman looking to tie that short series if he can. And we'll see what happens here as they come out at 157. Cowboys clearly in command of the duel through 4 weights, 19-0. With a bunch of bonus points already. A couple of pins and a major. This is Parker Kropman, 3-2. And Wyatt Sheets battling through injuries last year, boy, with the shoulder, and he was really banged up and couldn't wrestle much late in the year, and if he did, he was handicapped, and he got to the NCAA tournament and got a couple of breaks, pulled one upset, had a guy forfeit, and next thing you know, he's an All-American, finishing 8th.
Well, and what's happening here is his first time in many matches. All last year, he had a brace on his knee, and he started out the season up until now with wearing a brace, and he doesn't have it on now.
And I said shoulder. I don't know why I was thinking shoulder, but it was knee. Maybe I'm thinking of Dustin Plott with the shoulder issue. Torn labrum and then removal of the labrum, if I'm not mistaken, for Dustin Plott. Surgery will remove it.
You may also recall, or some of the fans may recall, that Sheets, he didn't qualify through the conference championship and was picked up as a at-large bid and became an All-American.
Yes.
That's highly unusual.
And still wasn't healthy when he wrestled at the NCAA tournament.
It had to be one of the great experiences for John as a coach to have one of his wrestlers, especially someone that his father, he was a teammate of his father, Mike Sheets, and to see that kind of NCAA tournament that Sheets had last year.
Double leg by Kropman. Sheets a good sprawl.
Last spring.
Yes. To a high crotch now by Kropman. He's got a 9-2 record.
Yeah, he's from Rochester, New York.
Yep, and he's gotten into the rankings, so this should be a good battle right here. It'll be very hard to pick a favorite. Sheets on the shot, not there. Kropman's had the only good serious attempt so far. Most of these wrestlers today, the duels, have not met. You have a lot of new people coming into lineups, and then you have teams from different parts of the country that, unless there's only been 2 duels, I believe, between these 2 teams. There have been 3 duels, 2, Oklahoma State 1 in neutral sites, or one was at Drexel, one was at a duels tournament. Sheets a shot, but not soon enough.
Yeah, he had an ankle pick there that he couldn't pull in on a single.
And it's Kropman's choice. They're talking about it. First they said down, then they said low, let's defer. So Sheets' choice, he will choose bottom, and does. Cropman, a 7-4 winner yesterday over Tebbets of UALR.
He's going to get the escape here.
Pretty easy escape there for Sheets, only underneath for 8 seconds. He leads at 1-0. Again, a very limited series between these teams. Good fighting here. Good aggressive action by Cropman. And he's been somewhat the aggressor so far. Sheets did have a shot, but right at the end of the period when there was virtually no chance it was going to be a single. There's one by Sheets. Cropman says, whoops, got to not let this be.
He's in a pretty good position to finish here, Sheets is. And get the foot posted down and off of him and then get his head out of there. Close. And he's about to get his head up. So now that'll give him, he doesn't have it yet though, but he's got to square up on him here with his hips.
And he gets two, throws it in half. 3-0 Sheets with the takedown.
Williams does a nice job of trying to come out of there, but good redrop there on behalf of Sheets.
Yeah, Cropman was trying to get up and out, but got dropped right back to the mat.
See if Sheets works his legs in. He likes to ride with the legs.
I know it sounds bad, but Cropman Sheets needed to drop Crop back to the mat, and he did. You got to get one bad pun in every match. So that's our limit for the day. Sheets, good rider, 30 seconds in riding time, but the period's running out.
Here we go. Just has that single leg, and then he turks that lower part of the leg to trap it. Then he just has to work his way out and work across his shoulders and across, get the weight. And as soon as the head comes out, he's able to get the weight across his body. And he almost tries to go into a turning combination here with a Turk, but he comes up quick out of there.
So Sheets an escape and takedown in the second to go up 3-0. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, Parker has a pretty good. He pops up out of there well. Doesn't stay down on the mat. He's not going to let Sheets work on him on the mat.
Stall warning on Sheets on top. Cropman didn't try to bring him back to the mat aggressively enough.
Well, what's going to happen, what Sheets has to do is he has to tie something up, and any wrestler has to tie the arms up so he can't build a base and get height if you're on top. But he's just got a very, he being Cropman, he's got a very good,
good strong base.
Strong base and tripod.
Well put together. Of course, all wrestlers basically are, but he's got really good looking upper body. And
well, he's a little short for the weight, and it's easier to do a tripod when you're not strung out. And however, that's what you try to avoid, is getting the leg put on.
Right, she does get the leg in on the right side.
He works, he worked him down there. That's what you don't want to happen, and he's been able to avoid it until now.
Riding time approaching a minute for Wyatt Sheets. Here in the final period, 3-0 Sheets plus riding time is cinched. It is cinched, so he's got a 4-0 lead in effect.
He's got that leg in there, so he's not going to be able to reverse him going to that side.
Final 25 seconds. Cropman needs to get something going in a hurry. Like a reverse and a near fall.
He's got his power half in here. If he can get him off his base, Sheets could get a tilt or a turn. Near fall.
Final 10 seconds. He's working on it.
Yes, he's got it. There it is. He's got him. He may get him flat here.
Close. The time is out. So a 4-point near fall plus the riding time makes it an 8-0 major decision by virtue of that 4-point near fall. 23-0 the team score.
Well, here it is. You see him getting that crossbody on, and that's good for Oklahoma State. That's showing that his legs are healthy. Again.
Coming back in just a few seconds, Travis Whitlake for the Cowboys.
I'm Coach Mike Boynton with Oklahoma State University. With approximately 700 Oklahomans waiting for a life-saving transplant, I encourage everyone across the state to make the important decision to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor. So check your driver's license for the Little Red Heart. If it's not there, visit lifeshareok.org and join the registry today. I have the Little Red Heart. Do you?
Decorative towel.
There was a mess. I wiped up a mess.
Yeah, you did.
Where is the Never mind, I found it.
Welcome back, football fans. We'll see you in the fridge.
Well, we're back looking for the 165-pounders. That is Barzak from Drexel with a 9-2 record, even though he is still not ranked yet. That's Evan Barzak. But he's facing All-American Travis Whitlake, who's ranked 5th. Even though he's only 0-1, he lost to the national champion Shane Griffin of Stanford. Griffin. Here we go, Big 12 wrestling standings. You'll notice Missouri has already had 3 conference duels. Oklahoma 2, Northern Colorado has had 3. Cowboys no conference duels yet. And of course, we welcome Missouri back into the Big 12 conference in wrestling. That'll really
great program. Brian Smith, coach there, does an outstanding job. I'm sure he's glad to be back in, and we can look forward to great competition in Tulsa come March.
Now, we don't know if they've adjusted the score, and that scoreboard probably wouldn't show it, but Drexel was hit with an unsportsmanlike call after that match there as Cropman took his single down before he left the mat. If so, it would be 23 to -1, but I don't know if they've done that or not. So we'll still say 23 to nothing for now as far as we know.
It's kind of the feature match for both teams, according to the coaches.
Really? This one not 174, huh?
And 174.
Yeah, I thought 174 since, and of course, Barzak's not ranked, but he's got a very good record. 9-2. They've never met.
Whitlake's pretty good about he has been good up to starting out the season, trying to get that first takedown. But they seem to be filling each other out early on.
Whitlake, of course, known for his great leg shots, especially really his ankle pick and low singles.
Yeah, he's got a good composure, good position. When he's trying to be more and more explosive on his attacks, we'll see what he can come up with.
Barzak obviously knew the low leg shots were coming. Yeah. He was ready for that one. Let's see if he can get something working on his own. Still no score here, not a lot of action, just one little shot by Whitlake. didn't get close. We mentioned earlier the home opener. Oh, there's a good one.
Ankle pick to a double. Here he's going right into a, trying to tilt there for a near fall. See, he's got the head or underhook to an ankle pick to just basically a double. He stays him right in front of him and drives through him, powers through him.
I like that head and ankle that some wrestlers do like that. They get the head and then get him thinking upper and then go right to the ankle, and it's tough to defend. So 2-0, 43 seconds left in the first.
I really like his breakdown series there. He went ankle pick to, did two different type wastes, right and left arm. That's switching sides. Now he's got the bar arm. He's pretty smooth here on top. And sometimes what you want to do is just keep a lot of pressure on him, and that's what results in breaking them down. And a lot of wrestlers back off of that.
Now you don't
put that pressure on.
You don't see a lot of them switch sides, do you?
No, you don't.
They get that one side. Right-handed wrestler likes to go to the right leg of the defensive man, and it's really good.
Very effective. Very effective.
Okay, period runs out. Whitlake with 58 seconds riding time, and the 2-0 lead as we go to the second. And Whitlake's choice, he chooses bottom. This is the area John Smith mentioned when we visited with him earlier. He wants to see more explosiveness and people coming out.
Yep, quickly. Getting off the mat.
And he was in good position there trying to clear the hands, and does.
The referee let him wrestle there, didn't he?
I thought he was about to call him off, but.
Good job of allowing him to wrestle.
So 3-0 Whitlake, takedown and an escape. And he still has about 48 seconds riding time. So he didn't stay under, but for 10 seconds. Oh, another ankle pick right there, and that's almost 2, but now he collects the other leg and gets 2.
Well, and this is where Coach Smith has really been wanting to see his development go, is to keep that pressure on him and stay aggressive and build on his lead. And that's the kind of, it takes aggressiveness to build on your leads.
And they roll off with 1:01 left in the second.
Here we go with the underhook. Well, at that time he just went from the head, collar tie.
Single, converted to the takedown. Got a good tight waist going, and he's run that riding time up to about 1:10, 1:09.9 if you want to be really picky. Caution on Whitlake, jumping the whistle just a bit.
See, Barsak's a graduate student from Central Valley, New York.
We're going to see a lot of those this year in college wrestling. Super seniors, yes. 5th year, 6th year. They were talking last night in that big football game here that Oklahoma State has a bunch of 5th-year guys and a few 6 years. They have one defensive starter who's 24 years old now. So with the COVID and all that, all these different sports, football, basketball, between that, the transfer portal, and everything else, man, you don't know what a team's going to look like from one year to the next.
No, and it's a challenge for the coaches, for the seniors in high school trying to get in and get scholarships that maybe not are all tied up.
Right. And you see guys that come in as a freshman, if they don't get to play right, well, I'm going somewhere else. You know, I don't like my roommate, or they didn't let me start, or whatever. And it's not all that way, but as Whitlake with the spiral ride gets a stalling warning call on Barsak with 5 seconds left in the second. 5-0 the score, and he rides that out to go to the third. It'll be Barsak's choice. Let's see if he wants to go neutral.
I think he took down.
No, he did. Yeah. He took down. And by the way, speaking of that, you know, I'm not a big fan of the transfer portal with no setting out, just because it seems like it's being abused. Michigan State in football, for example, had 14 football players transfer out last spring. They brought in 20 transfers.
Wow.
In the portal.
Well, he took neutral here, and he's going right after, trying to get the takedown for taking that position. He's not going to waste any time.
Well, he got the escape, made it 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He did choose bottom, but Whitlake's going right back after him. Almost has to. Can't quite collect the parlay, but then does. And it's 7-1, and riding time is more than 2 minutes, 2:13. So Whitlake firmly in control here.
Here we go. Gets the high crotch position, and he just stays with it. He pulls the leg back in. That little pull, tug back in just made the difference. Some guys will just follow him onto the mat, off the mat, and you don't get the takedown.
Released by Whitlake, 7-2. Riding time is almost locked. Will be in a few more seconds.
There's his double. And he's not able to.
And Barsek's he's been battling. He just can't get anything going offensively. Whitlake's kept him defending the whole time.
He is so solid. Keeps good position. See his head's in the right place. His hands are in control. They're inside position.
That's 1 point.
Yep. Back off like that. That's a good job by the referee. He calls the match well on the edges.
So 8-2. They haven't put that point up, but it should be 8-2.
Post there. Call snap down. Actually, he shot, and he just made sure he stayed down, but he's got to finish here.
Oh, wait a minute. Now they put 2 points up.
Oh, yeah, he did. He did get the takedown.
Well, then it should be 10-3 after the escape. There was a penalty point over here, and I don't know if they saw it on the scoreboard. When Barsek backed off the mat, a penalty point was given to Whitlake, which made it 8. See on the replay right here? Okay.
Yep. Nice finish there.
So the escape and then the takedown. Well, I've got 10-3. They still have 9-3. I don't think the scorekeeper saw the penalty point signaled over here for backing off the mat.
There's a snap down again.
Final 10 seconds.
Post there, Ben.
10-3, and the takedown makes it 12, and the riding time of 2:25 will make it 13-3. Major decision for Travis Whitlake, and I'm sure he and his coach will be very happy with this performance.
I would think so too.
From start to finish. Well, one of our feature matches, if not the feature match, Dustin Pott and Mickey O'Malley. Coming up next, you're watching Big 12 now on ESPN+. Well, somebody's unbeaten record at 174 will end today as Drexel sends out Mickey O'Malley, ranked 12th nationally. He is 9-0, a junior. He faces Oklahoma State's 16th ranked Dustin Plott, who's 2-0. The Cowboys have just had 2 duels, no tournaments. So this should be, when we say the match to watch, this should be a dandy. Dustin Plott, a qualifier as a freshman last year, and I think a lot of people felt like he would have been an All-American, but he had a really bad shoulder injury of the labrum. And it's my understanding he since has had the labrum removed from the shoulder. I don't know if you can confirm that, but that's what I was told a couple of days ago.
Well, he's certainly been under a lot of therapy and for that shoulder, and it was so aggravating for him.
And he was wrestling basically one-armed throughout the NCAA, Big 12 and NCAA tournaments. And highly recruited wrestler out of Tuttle, Oklahoma. And this should be a dandy match.
Hard worker, good conditioning. It's just, you know, right now it's getting his battle readiness, getting mentally being prepared to compete, and that's what they're working on with him. He's got good skills, and I'm sure O'Malley has to have his. He and his brother are on the roster here, and from New Jersey.
Well, should be a good one. They're both a little cautious so far. Nobody's really sold out on a shot by any means yet. And, see who can get in the first takedown. Of course, that's 65 to 70% of the matches are won by whoever scores first. In the long history of the sport since they started keeping those kinds of stats. The 2-on-1 by O'Malley, nothing there. Again, they have not met. Plott was a freshman last year, and they did not meet, so new to each other. Yesterday, O'Malley got a fall against Tristan Wills of Arkansas Little Rock. 15 seconds into the second period. Final 45 seconds of the first period here, no score. Oklahoma State has clinched the dual match 27-0, so even 4 pins in these last 4 matches by Drexel wouldn't catch them.
30 seconds remaining, period 1.
Yeah, we haven't seen anybody get in on anything significant here. They're not penetrating on each other. They're
just a lot of hand fighting, trying to control the elbows, and not too much else going. I wouldn't object to see a double stall right here myself, because it doesn't hurt either one. It just says, hey guys, you need to get after it.
Yeah.
Time runs out the first, no score, and nobody really came close to scoring, and it's O'Malley's choice. He defers, so Plott chooses bottom. Let's see what O'Malley's strategy is here. Is he really good on top and wants to control, or just ride a while? Spiral ride right off the bat. Plott trying to peel off that waist hand. Just about has that done. Now stands up, but good trip by O'Malley. Again, Plott.
A good job of getting back to his feet.
And he's out of there. Good job. In just 15 seconds, he's out.
Shoved that hand to his hip pocket.
Mm-hmm. So 1-0 Plott. Now let's see who can get something going on the offensive side.
Push yourself here, come on. That's it.
Plott will be looking for more of a high crotch single, and he also has a fireman's duck under. But he has several skills that are in his arsenal.
There's a shot by Plott. He's in on the leg.
Nice transition there to a finish. Now we'll see if he tries. Oh, blew that whistle.
Hurt his knee.
What
illegal hold.
On who?
O'Malley, because he gave one to Green.
Yeah.
I don't know what he did with hands. Did he get a couple of the fingers?
Unless he was trying to trip him. We'll see if we can get a replay of that and take a look at that. Here we go. Let's see what he's doing. Yep, he came back.
Around the leg?
There, that leg there is, you can't use your leg to trip him from the backside. It's almost like a clip.
You know, and that was so quick. I didn't catch it, and good job by Titus Godbolder, referee. He's out of North Carolina, was alert to that. It didn't look like anything when you first saw it. Single leg by Plott, and there's 2.
Yeah.
Suddenly this is a 4-0 match, and 4-1 now with the escape by O'Malley. See if that penalty point comes back to be a factor later on.
Well, and it's not the force. It wasn't the force. It's just the fact that that leg touched used his leg to touch the back of the knee of your opponent, and you can't do that.
Now Plott comes in, wants the over and under. Plott pulls out of that. Makes you think O'Malley might want to throw.
Oh, here we go with a snatch single, goes low on the ankle. When the hand was down, it was 2. It's just doesn't have to be any time elapsed as long as the hand's down on the mat. It's takedown.
4-1 going to the third. Plott with the lead. O'Malley's choice. He's underneath, looking to cut it to a 2-point deficit. And he's out of there easily. Plott wasn't too interested in trying to ride. So 4-2. Riding time not a factor at all. It's basically dead even. We mentioned Oklahoma State, not another home duel until January 23rd. A leg shot by Plott.
Nice scramble there on
O'Malley trying hard. Plott trying to clear that one leg so he can get turned into him. And he's making some progress, but nothing yet.
He wants to, it looks like he's trying to get the leg and put
over the head
and put him down on the mat, but he doesn't even have his hands on his legs.
Nope. So a stalemate call. We mentioned with Oklahoma State, though, they're very active the next few weeks. The 12th at Oklahoma, the 17th at Air Force in Wyoming, and the 20th at Utah Valley, and then the Southern Scuffle January 1st. All that before the next home duel, along with the at Little Rock on January 8th. High double attempted by Plott. Not there.
O'Malley's trying to go over the top of it.
Ooh, he wants to throw, but Plott counters.
Just a little brute force there.
Well, nothing else had worked for O'Malley, so you can't blame him for trying that, can you?
Yep, he had to do something to get back in contention there. And actually, Plott's a pretty good rider, but I don't see him trying to really break him down. But he's a little leery of his hips, of O'Malley's hips.
Spiral ride, he lifts him, gets him back to the mat. Otherwise, he could have gotten a stalling call, but only 20 seconds left. Riding time's not a factor in this match. 6-2, Plott the score. And O'Malley's not having much luck getting out of there until now he does. So 6-3, he needs a big move right here, but only 5 seconds left. Plott can just stay away from him. No stalling issue. That'll do it, 6-3.
Here he is, got both hands over. He tries to lever him over and just basically win all or nothing.
30-0, Oklahoma State. We'll be back with 184.
When we made the decision that we were going to build the Durant Solar Farm, we had the idea of an anchor tenant, and the first one that we thought about was the Choctaw Nation.
It was a perfect fit for us whenever OG&E approached us about this relationship and this idea. They reflect a lot of our same values. They're about growth of our communities. They're about growth of our state. They're trying to help us preserve Oklahoma, our heritage here in the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma.
Aloha. Isn't this a cozy little room? Sorry your vacation request took so long to get approved, so you missed out on the suite special, but lucky for you, they had this.
When employees are forced to wait for vacation request approvals, it can really cramp their style.
Leave you to it. And just
With Paycom, employees enter and manage their own HR data in a single, easy-to-use software. Visit paycom.com and schedule a demo today.
What are we capable of when we are seen, heard, inspired? It's that unexpected moment when everything changes, revealing our potential and discovering the excellence in all of us. With our discovery comes responsibility to lead through the world's most pressing challenges, giving back and creating opportunity at Oklahoma State University.
And welcome back to Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus. We mentioned Oklahoma State's going to be road warriors for about the next 25 days. At Oklahoma, coming up on the 12th, 17th, the pair of matches, the 20th, then the Southern Scuffle, all day January 1st and 2nd. And then they have another duel coming up, I believe, on the 8th at Little Rock before the Lehigh match here, January 25th. At 184, Dakota Gear for Oklahoma State. And his opponent, of course, Gear, a returning All-American. And his opponent is Brian McCullough. McLaughlin, I'm sorry. He is 7-2. Gear has beaten him one time before. Gear 2-0 in the Cowboys' abbreviated schedule to this point. Gear, of course, an All-American, and is also ranked nationally by Intermat. He's number 7.
Mr. Consistency. You usually get a good hard effort from Gear.
His consistency includes giving up a takedown early a lot of times.
Sometimes.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Even against someone that he's quite a bit better than. I don't know why that is. I'm sure John Smith doesn't know, or he would have figured it out and said, quit doing that. Then he comes back and he might win by 6 or 7 points. But
yeah, he certainly lives by the adage, not how you start, it's how you finish.
That's right. He finishes usually with more points on the scoreboard. McLaughlin is looking to, I don't know if you can really call it an upset. Gear has beaten him one time, their only meeting. And, of course, every year is different. Even matches early in the same season to the late season are different.
Well, and Gear's a native Pennsylvanian, so he's probably seeing guys that he's wrestled in high school with on the Drexel team.
Okay. Transferred in here from a good shot by Gear, but a good counter from, help me out, Edinburgh, right?
Right.
Okay. Kind of went blank there for a moment, but still working for the takedown is Gear, but McLaughlin is hanging in there so far.
Yeah, he's a good position here to finish that up.
So for once, Gear scores first instead of giving up one. And it puts him in good position.
He does a good job of using his leverage.
He is a long, rangy 84. I'm not tremendously tall, but taller than average.
See, he's doing tying up the wrist and changing off from left arm to right arm, but wears him down. Actually, that hand fighting to be a good rider, you have to be a good hand fighter on top. And to get off bottom, you have to be a good hand fighter. Everybody thinks of it just being on your feet for the takedown as hand fighting, but it's not. It's on the mat. It's critical.
Good ride so far by Gear. He's already got a minute piled up. 30 seconds left in the first. He has a 2-0 lead. Cowboys comfortably ahead in the duel, 30-0. They've won the first 7. Stall warning underneath on McLaughlin. Hasn't really come close to getting away so far. He hasn't gotten up to his feet. Gotten up on one knee, and that's about as far as it's gone. One knee in the other leg. Gear not really aggressive on top, but rides him out.
Yeah, here's the single leg. He just stays on it, gets his body around there, gets the angle. From here, it's just leverage. Grabbing that far ankle, that reach, and just powers through it.
So Gear chooses the bottom.
Yep.
To start
leg rider, and he's doing a leg slip here. It's what Gear's trying to do, and if he does it right, he'll get a reversal out of it.
Very good with it. There it is. So 4-0 Gear with the reverse.
Right.
And he gets a return.
Yes, right away. That's good transition.
Didn't quite get it. Did have the tight waist on there pretty well, but then lost the other side. And to his feet now is McLaughlin. He's out, and it sounded like maybe John Smith said let him go.
Yeah, he's got a minute 37 riding time. He's probably thinking, we can ride him all day long.
Another good leg shot.
For some points.
Sure. And there's two. Collects that far ankle, and that ended that.
And that certainly takes away the mental confidence of your opponent when you take them down over and over. You can just see his body giving up on bottom, almost letting up. But
well, late in that first period, I thought once they went off the mat, McLaughlin looked weary. I mean, he's moving slowly. Like, of course, this Thanksgiving weekend, weight can be an issue.
Nice slip arm there to finish.
So 4 takedowns and a reverse for Gear, and that makes it 10-3, 11-3. I didn't see. They give a penalty point. A penalty point. So 11-3 now, 11-4 with the escape. The gimme escape, and Gear right back in on the legs. And I think McLaughlin, I don't know about his weight or anything, but he appeared to be tired late the first, and he's not putting up a bunch of resistance to the leg shots right now.
Yeah, he's got to square up on him here. We'll see what referee determines his control. And there it is.
Got it just by the second period buzzer, so 13-4.
Here it is, leg slip, and there it is. He
Easy
does a
reverse.
smooth job of that. The only problem that he could have with that leg slip is that you want to make sure you slip him, because if you don't, and you've got somebody on top of you that can crank you over, you've kind of given him a good start to finish.
So McLaughlin chooses bottom, and he's released by Gear. So 13. Oh, McLaughlin in on a good leg shot.
Oh, he got nice hip work there. Good counter.
Good job by Gear getting out of that, because McLaughlin was in deep, and that'll be another takedown for Gear. It's 15-5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 takedowns in reverse for Gear. 6 after the release, 15-6. So Gear just working on his feet. 6 takedowns and a reverse. He's really had no problems.
He's in on the high crotch. He just uses that leverage to bring him down to the mat where he can't move, and stretches him out and runs around him.
Gear also.
There's a nice ankle pick.
Yeah, nice ankle pick, and collects the other leg, and there's a takedown, and that makes it 17-6 plus 2:06 riding time. Releases him to make it 17-7. Right back in on an ankle pick again, and there's two. I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah.
But
great effort in not stopping. Non-stop.
Hattis got both said 2.
There's the ankle pick to a double. We saw Whitlake do that too.
And you notice how easy that was. I think McLaughlin's run a little short of juice, and lets him go again to make it 19-8. And just McLaughlin, once Gear gets in, is giving up the leg really easy. There's a shot by McLaughlin. That's good to see. Trying something, but there's 2 more by Gear, 21-8. And with the release, 21-9. They're both up. Gear trying to get another takedown. He needs 2. There's another ankle pick, so 23-9. He lets him up, 23-10, gets a takedown. It'll be 25-10 tech fall. He's got 25 seconds to do that. They're not telling him to cut him, but if they do, oh, he's got 24. There's another point I didn't see just got put up. Beg your pardon. So he's got the tech fall. Was it another stalling call?
There it is.
24-9 plus 2:33 riding time. Tech fall. Last takedown coming to right up. See Gear's tech fall.
Come check it out.
It may not be music to your ears, but as long as it's music to theirs, bring the volume back to the venue with exclusive ticket access to unmissable events. One of the many reasons you're with Amex Platinum.
So I'm going too, right?
It's the most joyous time of the year.
Especially at T-Mobile.
Let's go to Diane.
Can you tell us what's happening?
Yeah, I got the awesome new iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, and T-Mobile's paying for them both. Oh, and I get a free year of Apple TV Plus.
And this is for new and existing T-Mobile and Sprint customers, like me. Back to you.
Hey.
Hello?
We're going to T-Mobile.
Upgrade to the iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, both on us. This week only at T-Mobile.
Meet Tempo, the home gym with a built-in personal trainer. Tempo helps you maximize every workout with custom plans and real-time feedback on your form. Get ready to discover what you're truly capable of. Tempo, find your strength.
The Italian Original Chicken is back at BK in the 2 for $6. You've been asking for years, Pete Newbacher. And now we all get to enjoy the crispy chicken, melty mozzarella, and marinara sauce because of you. The Italian Original Chicken Sandwich is back at BK in the 2 for $6. Pete's way better.
That's his stuff.
Are you ready for Monday night?
Well, we have a great challenge coming up at 197 for Trip Marina of Drexel, who's just 1-0, hasn't had a lot of experience, and he gets a chance. See if he can pull off the giant upset of defending NCAA champion, #1 ranked A.J. Ferrari of Oklahoma State, who, as we said, is a guy who likes to put on a show both while he's wrestling and when he's done.
When he's not wrestling.
He true freshman champion last year, one of only 3 in the history of Oklahoma State wrestling, and he is, let's just say, very difficult to be reckoned with.
He is, and particularly when he's really focused on developing his skills, and that's what John's trying to do, is get him to keep developing more and more of his wrestling skills that will score points.
Well, the team duel, of course, 35-0 Oklahoma State, but one thing about Ferrari I thought was interesting last year, he's got a great combination of balance, strength, and quickness. He's got all those. Athletically, he's superior athletically to most of the guys he wrestled. True freshman, his offense wasn't great. He'd win some close matches against wrestlers who weren't, they were just average or a little above average. But as the season went on, he developed his offense, and John Smith, of course, wants more of that. Got to the Big 12 tournament, he beat 3 All-American wrestlers and beat them all by scoring like 7, 9, 13, 14 points, and won by 4- and 5-point margins at least. In the NCAA tournament, he continued to score well.
And could ride people when he needed to.
And of course, if you've seen him wrestle at all, he's one that has a lot of theater in him. Good. There's Marina jumps right in on a leg shot, but Ferrari is just so quick, and with his balance. Nope, not yet. Couldn't quite get that one toe in. But his combination of athletic ability, even if you get in on him, he's really tough to finish on.
He is just absolutely strong. He's all muscle. And his hips and his thighs and quadriceps and hamstrings are just, full of power.
Mm-hmm. And he's not the bulkiest 197 I've ever seen, but everybody says he's tremendously strong, and there's 2 with the double. And the one thing I noticed, last year, midway through, they had that Cowboy Open or whatever it was here, and he lost 3-2 to Noah Adams from West Virginia. Mm-hmm. Was in on a leg in the last 30 seconds, couldn't quite finish. His offense still wasn't quite there yet. That was his only loss, and as it went on from late January through the middle of March, he just got better and better and better offensively.
I think he came away from those losses, those matches, which many champions do, and they say, hey, look, I can beat this person, I can get better in this area and win those situations that cost me the match and develop my their skills.
Developed his offense. That was the key. He was fairly good offensively, but not great by any means.
Well, and that's what he needs to do going forward. And each year, he needs to keep learning and stay in that learning mode. It's so important.
And there's a turn.
And it keeps you humble, too.
Yes, and there's a 4-point near fall by Ferrari. It's 6-0. That's one thing I know they wanted to work on with him. He's a really good rider, but work on those turns, build up those big points. He's showing it here, and he's got him on his back almost again. Yep, there's a count. 3, 4, so there's another 4-point near fall. That'll make it 10-0. So Marina fired a good opening shot. It wasn't successful, and he's, of course, been struggling ever since. Go off the mat with 49 seconds left.
Yeah, here he is. He's got a 2-on-1. Just gets him over. Good job of balancing there. Getting his hips over on his and getting so he can get that shoulder break that you need to get the near fall points. Exposure. You can actually pin him from there if you can keep moving away from him, but
released by Ferrari, 10-1. And you hear all kinds of opinions on Ferrari's showmanship. You know, some people like it, some don't. He likes to play to the crowd, and, and some people like that. Also, though, he has a habit of, you know, pointing a quiet, you know, finger to the opponents, and some people don't care for that. Depends if you're old school, new, whatever. Everybody just has a different opinion on that.
Well, I don't think it's a problem to have a little showmanship, and the sport could use it in some respects, but you have to be respectful to your opponent.
Take down 2 seconds ahead of the buzzer.
Nice finish there. Just ankle grab, pulls him back on the mat and get close so he can scoop up the other leg.
So 12-1 after the first. Couple of takedowns, 8 points worth of near falls. Ferrari chooses bottom to start the second, and he's just, and he's also a guy conditioning-wise, he just goes and goes and goes, never seems to get tired.
Well, and that's because he trains hard. He's a hard trainer.
You know, the
whether
match
it's in the weight room or on the mat.
The match that fully convinced me last year, the match I didn't know if he could win, is when they got to the national tournament in the semifinals. He had to meet Amin from Michigan. I thought, that's a guy I don't think he's ready to beat yet. But he did, and solidly. I believe it's 4-1.
Right.
And was not really in jeopardy in the last part of the match. Got the takedowns and just controlled the match. And he's in on the leg again. This would not end it unless he takes him to his back. It would be 15-1 if he gets this takedown. And Marina's hiking around trying to avoid the takedown, but collects the other leg, and there's 2.
Well, I think he waved it off. Waved it off. Now he's got it.
Just as I bent my head to write down the score, he waved it off. I jumped the gun. So 15-1. Let's see the strategy here.
Here we go. He's got the leg high and goes between the legs there. Nice little finish there, but wasn't able to keep that other leg. And then he squares up and he's on his hips. He doesn't have any other relief there.
See a strategy here. Let him go and get a takedown to end it, or try to put him on his back to end it.
Yeah.
It didn't let him go.
Opt to do here.
Knowing him, he might want to try to get him on his back and pin him to finish in a flourish. You know,
well, and I will say too, AJ's showmanship, he is very courteous and accessible to youth. And to really all the fans here and student body on campus. He's got a place in Hollywood someday.
Yeah, he's
put it that way.
Very sociable guy. He just likes to have fun besides showing off a little bit.
Right.
Enjoys people.
Yes. So he's trying to give him something to get something, but I'm not sure we're going to know what it is, or he does, for that matter. But who knows?
He's working his way around, though.
Yeah.
This does not look good for Marina. Stalemate called. So only 19 seconds left. I didn't realize it was that late in this period.
Yeah, so
it's still second period. And freestyle start, optional start, so that'll make it 15-2. And a takedown here, if he gets it, would end it right here. He's got 15 seconds to do it. please shoot. Only 5 seconds left. Snap down.
We're seeing some
There
very
it is.
athletic big
Got it
guys.
1 second ahead of the buzzer. 17-2, the Tech fall in 5 minutes. For A.J. Ferrari, makes the score 40-0.
Snap down to the power double. Freight train
And
double.
that did it. Go to the big boys next. Big 12 now on ES.
Finding your new favorite spot. Piece of, no, you really have to try this cake.
Wow.
Get exclusive access to sought-after restaurants. One of the many reasons you're with Amex Platinum.
It's the most joyous time of the year.
Especially at T-Mobile.
Let's go to Diane.
Can you tell us what's happening?
Yeah, I got the awesome new iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, and T-Mobile's paying for them both. Oh, and I get a free year of Apple TV Plus.
And this is for new and existing T-Mobile and Sprint customers, like me. Back to you. Hello?
We're going to T-Mobile.
Upgrade to the iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, both on us. This week only at T-Mobile.
There are mornings, and there are woke up late, out of toothpaste, spilled coffee in yourself mornings. At least with the 2 for $4, you can do breakfast your way. Want 2 of this, or that, or this and that? Mix and match with a sandwich and biscuit on the 2 for $4.
You're not Peter Parker.
I am so confused.
We started getting some visitors from every universe.
This is all my fault.
They all die fighting Spider-Man.
There has to be another way.
There isn't.
Spider-Man, No Way Home, in theaters December 17th.
And it's NBA on ESPN time.
Friday on ESPN.
And you see John Smith, the head coach of Oklahoma State, sitting there climbing that ladder, all-time coaching wins. Look, this will be number 452 because it's clinched. Harold Nichols, the great longtime Iowa State coach, and then Dale Thomas, legendary Oregon State coach, stand 1 and 2. So we get ready for the big boys. Luke Serber of Oklahoma State and Eli Anthony of Drexel. And actually, you know, we always say the big boys. These guys aren't very big, frankly. Anthony is a kind of a stocky wrestler who probably doesn't weigh more than 215 or so. Serber in on a leg very quickly. And Serber was wrestling 174 a year ago. They bulked him up to heavyweight, and he's looked very good so far.
Moves really well. We're seeing so many good athletes now at heavyweight. It's really impressive. Of course,
now,
led by
Gable Steveson.
Gable Steveson, and who Serber wrestled last week.
And I thought Gable Steveson was very nice to Luke Serber. Took him down, got a major, but he never really attempted to bully him or hurt him or pin him even, really. He just methodically went through and controlled it.
He would go with a nice single leg. You know, he came here as a 74, 84 pounder. And he just kept, he grew, and they were packing weight on him because they thought if we'd love to see a lightweight that can wrestle at heavyweight, that wrestles like a lightweight guy, and but they've got to add strength and power and size. And he is a somewhat light heavyweight, but he's big enough. And as with more confidence, he's going to be somebody to reckon with in the nation.
If he could win here, it would be his first official victory as a Cowboy in the lineup. He's 0-1, lost to Steveson. Anthony is 0-2, and in a lot of trouble here. And Serber, these guys, if they were good athletes and they grew into, and especially if they're tall, they've got some leverage too.
His dad, he came from Tuttle. They have a powerhouse high school wrestling program in Tuttle, and father was a coach, high school coach, and legendary coach here in Oklahoma. And he's principal now. In fact, I believe at Tuttle High School.
There's 4 points, so that makes it 6-0. Serber really in control already, a minute 45 riding time. Got that leg trapped from that leg in on the right leg of Anthony, and Anthony just has had no answer to this so far.
Yeah, I was saying his father was a principal, but he's retired from coaching too. Can't do both.
That's been a heck of a program there at Tuttle Wrestling. Anymore, because recruiting is so national, you don't see two guys from the same small town starting in a lineup, and they have Dustin Plott here and Serber.
Well, and OSU has a pretty good room for workout partners now at heavyweight. You got Harris and Doucette.
Somebody's got to come out of there and be better. That's if you're not great to start with, then somebody's got to develop and win the job and try to be good. So long ride here. Oh, Granby roll there by Anthony. Almost got out of it.
He's got that ankle picked up there. Bows that back and gets him over, and got to find a way to get his chest more on top of him and get more weight on top of these guys to get the pin.
Serber's choice to start the second.
And it's all an experience for him. He hasn't been that big of a guy for that long, and he's learning how to wrestle heavyweight.
Well, if he ends up winning the battle here for the heavyweight job, he'll have to learn that as you go on when you get these 270-pounders, what you can and cannot do against them, and and how to position yourself, use your quickness, all those things. A lot of the light heavyweights have had to develop that over the years.
Sure.
Zabriskie from Iowa State, a good example, now ended up being a national champion. There's a takedown.
Well, and that's what that agility will get you right there, is you can still do some of those lightweight, smaller weight skills that you don't see that much at heavyweight.
Yeah, a lot of the good light heavyweights. I'll tell you another very good light heavyweight that people might have forget about in this sport was Kurt Angle.
Oh, yeah.
He weighed 209 pounds in his NCAA finals match against Sylvester Turkey of NC State, who was a very good heavyweight, about 245.
Great example. Yeah.
And most people realize over the last several years, Angle weighs a little more than 209 now. I think he put on about 70. And there's the escape. So 11-2 after the escape. Serber firmly in control, has 3:01 riding time, and he ducks around behind him for another two. It looked too easy there. Tried for a cradle. Lets him up, basically. He's 13-3, and he's right back in on the leg again. Hip block thrown in by Anthony, still battling. Trying not to give it up, but there's two more. So that's 5 takedowns plus a near fall, 4-point near fall. And the period ends.
Here we go. Harry just head tap, set up to a low single. And he comes between the legs to finish and ends up scrambling out. Good balance, gets his hips around. He's agile.
So Anthony
very agile.
Unless I missed it, Anthony chose neutral, but he's back.
There's another takedown.
17-3, a let up and a takedown, and this one would be over. 17-4 with the escape, and he's in on the leg, and this should end it maybe right here.
Yep.
And it does.
I like the fact that he just stays with those singles. They can't stop it. Stay with it.
Technical fall makes this final score 45-0 in favor of Oklahoma State. They move on with a dominating win as expected. Good performance by Luke Serber. John Smith, victory number 452. Handshake with Matt Acevedo, the Drexel coach, and the fans go away happy. So they've had a good weekend here with the wrestling team making its home debut and ready to head off on the road. So the Cowboys win at 45-0. Be back in action, Bedlam in Norman, December the 12th. For Leroy Smith and myself, we're going to say good afternoon in just a bit as Oklahoma State wins this one 45-0. They go to 3-0 and look forward to the long extended Road Warrior status coming up here in the next 3 weeks before returning here on January 23rd for the duel against Lehigh. That'll do it for us. Reminder, you're watching Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Good afternoon.